to part 2 of how to change your life. Now there will probably be 12 parts of the series, but you may be saying, why would I want to change my life? I like my life just fine. Well, the Oxford Group, which was founded by Frank Buchanan, aimed to promote peace and reconciliation through spiritual principles and individual transformation. They believe that societal problems, including international conflicts, stem from personal issues like selfishness and fear. The solution they proposed lay in individual spiritual change. So this program is meant to change you spiritually from the inside out. Now, it's a well-known program. I'm just combining some programs together, okay? So we have the Oxford Group, which believes in honesty, purity, unselfishness, and love, okay? From the Oxford Group principles came the AA principles, and from that stemmed Celebrate Recovery, okay? This is not all about alcohol, though. The Oxford Group was about your whole life, your whole spiritual change. Alcoholics Anonymous adopted it as an alcohol program, but it was originally the Oxford Group that did it as a whole spiritual program. So I just want to make that clear. So if you're dealing with anger issues, if you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with grief, if you're dealing with alcohol, drugs, sex addiction, pornography, just anything in your life, gossip, lying, maybe you have codependency, okay? So anything that you're dealing with in your life, you can take this program and it will help you through it. I know that it might sound crazy, it doesn't make any sense, but it works, okay? So if you do this, it'll work, okay? So the first step I'd already gone over, but I'm going to kind of retouch on that just to make sure that we're doing this correctly. First of all, it would be great if you got involved in a meeting somewhere. If it's, you can have Alcoholics Anonymous, there's Overeaters Anonymous, there is Celebrate Recovery, which Celebrate Recovery covers everything, but and it's a Christian program. Now, I'm not saying you have to be a Christian, but it really helps. So get plugged in somewhere, make sure you're talking to a sponsor, and it's not good to do this alone. We're not meant to be alone. We're meant to have relationships with other people. To be able to do these steps, you do need other people. So the first step is for Alcoholics Anonymous is we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. Now you can replace the word alcohol with anything you want. So we admitted we were powerless over, let's say you have an anger issue, you could put anger. So we admitted we were powerless over anger, that our lives had become unmanageable, okay? So if that's your thing, right? So the first step of the first step for Celebrate Recovery is we admitted we were powerless over our addictions and compulsive behaviors, and that our lives had become unmanageable. So that just kind of like broadens the spectrum, but it's the exact same principles. So what you need to do with this, okay? So that first step is just stepping out of denial, saying, I have a problem. Yeah, I do. So I want you to take a little bit of time, maybe a week or so, and figure out, like, what is it that I'm dealing with right now? Because everyone's dealing with something. So you just admit that you have a problem. Just, I have a problem that I need fixing. Is it anger? Is it selfishness? Is it greed? I don't know what your problem is, but anyway, just admit that you have a problem. That's all you got to do. Just say, I have a problem. And do that for a while until you feel comfortable with it. Okay, and then you can move on to step 2. So step 2 in Alcoholics Anonymous says, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Okay, so in Alcoholics Anonymous, that power could be any higher power. You can pick a higher power, you can make up a higher power. But I believe that if you believe it's God is the higher power, then that is the most useful. Okay, I'm not saying that you have to believe in it, but you got to try. Okay, and you can believe in any higher power, but if you believe in God, it will really work. This program will work. Okay, I know that for a fact. So it's helped me with a lot of things like gossip, emotional regulation, a lot of stuff. Anyway, Believe that God exists, that I matter to him, and that he has the power to help me. Okay, that's number 2 for CR. It's believe that God exists, that I matter to him, and that he has the ability to help me recover. Now that on number 2 on the CR principles, I think is a little intense for one step. So I want you to just, try and sink in that came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. So in other words, believe that God exists and that he has the power to help you recover. Okay, that's 2 things. That's the second step. That doesn't mean you have to change anything. You don't have to change anything. Okay, I haven't stopped eating sugar. I eat sugar like every day, a little bit every day. Okay, I'm trying to get over sugar addiction, but the thing is God changes you. All right, so it's not that you're, I mean, yes, you're going to think about it and you're going to be changing your habits and stuff, but it's God that works in you to will and to act according to his good purpose. So number 2, came to believe that God, or a power greater than ourselves, could restore us to sanity. And what do they mean by sanity? They mean like it's a spiritual change. Okay, it is a spiritual change. Yes, if you change your spirit, your outside will change also. So it comes from within out. All right, so you have the spiritual change within, and like with me with sugar addiction, the less sugar I start getting over the sugar addiction, and then my body will be will get healthier. Okay, so yeah, so that's step 2. And I'm sorry it took so long. I'm just doing it by the pace of whatever God tells me. But anyway, you have a great, blessed day, and I'll see you on the trail. I also just want to let you know that I am putting a halt to the Father's Love Letter. I read the whole Father's Love Letter in the first episode. So if you want to go back and watch that, that's fine. I think that this is more important, the Change Your Life by Frank, not by Frank Bookman, but I believe that this is more important. This will help you out so much, and I'm here to help you. Okay, so if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to email me, but you really need to get involved in the group. So if you look below in the description, I'll put the links to meeting locators, and there should either be a Celebrate Recovery meeting in your area or an Alcoholics Anonymous in your area. There may be an Overeaters and a chemical addiction. I think I've even heard of CODA, which is codependency. That's when you have if other people are affecting your life. Okay, so no one should be able to affect your life. Well, I guess if you're married, yes, but codependency is kind of like that. Like if somebody has a bad day, it makes your day bad. That's codependency. All right, so anyway, you have a wonderful day.